Hi, my name is Sarah McDaniel, and this is my classroom. I have been a special education teacher in the life skills area for the last 10 years, and I've been teaching for 12. I am currently teaching a life skills functional academics classroom, and if you can tell by me having you come and take a tour with me, I am in love with Harry Potter, and it's like one of my favorite things ever. So what I'm gonna do is kind of take you on a tour around my room and kind of show you the different things that I do in my classroom and kind of the way I set things up so you can get a general idea as to who I am and what I like to do. So I'm gonna start right here. So this is my little workspace. I have my little quote up there of let your faith be bigger than your fear, which is really helpful for me because I really have to remember that in life skills it can be really challenging, especially when I have a lot of kids that struggle with being aggressive or having just really difficult days. So if I'm just faithful and remember to be just a really great teacher and a really great leader, I can remember that I shouldn't be fearful coming into work and thinking about getting scars or scratches or bites. So my little workspace here, I have my fun little Harry Potter pictures. I have a little station right here for my teaching assistant and I, where we can kind of have all of our things. Of course, I have some of my other Harry Potter items. My TA happens to also be really a huge fan of Harry Potter, so pretty awesome. Right here, I have my what's for lunch, and I use a picture every day because I know my students a lot of times cannot read, and it really helps them to see what's there. I have noticed that in the last 10 years as I've used my what's for lunch bulletin board, the kids really appreciate knowing what's for lunch every day because it's something that they can look forward to, and it's kind of part of their routine. They come in, they look to see what's there, and then they can kind of be excited about what all the items are on the menu. So I also have my door to my sensory room, and I have a nice picture I found on news2u.com of a sensory room, and I do have a bubble tube, and I have one of these cool fiber optic things, so it kind of shows the kids that this is what we're doing. I have a sensory schedule and room expectations, which is really important when you have a sensory room, just because kids can really destroy it, make it really hard. There have been some people that allow kids to sleep in there. It makes it really challenging to kind of get them to do what they need to during the day, and also make it available for kids that need it. So here is my little area where I can say, oh, if you need to go to the restroom, you can hit staff and kids, or just if a girl or boy is going, they can hit that to show me that they are in the restroom. I have a student who needs a doorbell for potty training. So as we're working on that, we have that available to him. I have my nice curtain that's Harry Potter themed on my door so that in case we have intruder drills, I can have that there. It also helps to kind of keep some of the stuff going on in the hallways out of my classroom so that they can focus on what they're doing. By the door, I also have my school clinic signs and what might be wrong and what kids need. I can always pull these down if I need to. I also have all my drills. Here's some of my Harry Potter type stuff that I have. So we are the DCA Dragons, which just happens to be amazing for me because I love Harry Potter and there's dragons in Harry Potter. So I made my little current objective sign here. With our school motto right here, I'm a Daymar Dragon, and then I have learning goals. So it's the end of January. We have been working on unique learning system, and it's my body, my health. My functional academic skills goals for this year, or for right now, from January on, is going to be recognizing and reading environmental print, skip counting, ecosystems of the world. Going over here, our goals are going to be for vocational. We're looking at job skills, so things like determining vocational activities of interest that could lead to a future job, learning what makes a good employee, counting $1, $5, and $10 bills up to $20, things like that. And then I also have my daily living skills goals, which are things like learning how to use kitchen utensils and appliances appropriately and safely, acquire skills to assist in daily living chores such as laundry, cleaning, and cooking, recognize how to be safe in the community, things like that. So this is kind of my goals board, which is pretty cool because if people walk in my classroom, they know exactly what we're working on. Down here, you can see my Harry Potter ABCs word wall. So if you notice, a lot of the words that I have are going to be functional. So things like bed, bowl, and a Band-Aid box to show them that they can read something like environmental print even if they don't actually know how to read it. So things like clean, coin, caution. And then I have a Coca-Cola sign because that's something that all of our kids can recognize. And I think it's important to remind kids that even if you don't know how to read, you know what a label says. So that is my Diagon vocab alley, not my particular creative thought. Somebody else came up with that, and so I kind of took the inspiration and used it for my classroom. I have a today board, so today is what the lesson is. This week we've been doing the Great Kindness Challenge. So we have some highlighted items that I wanted the kids to do. These are my challenges for our students during the week. And this is an anchor chart that we did. So I included both words and pictures so the kids could remember what it is that we talked about. The cool thing about this is that at the end of the week, I can just cut it off. So I don't have to worry about continuing to keep something that I don't need. And then I can pull on this and have more paper for the next week so I can create another anchor chart. So I will be pulling that off and cutting it today. So that way I have more bulletin or paper for next week. Up there I have my sign that says great ways to treat others. Here is my visual schedule. Generally, myself and 2 other co-teachers are ones that work together with the life skills classes. My school is particularly unique because we have all special education students in the entire charter school. So me and 2 other teachers have worked together to create a really neat program where we rotate our students between classes. I teach the functional academics, so a lot of the math, a lot of the reading, and time. And then one of my co-teachers teaches the vocational skills, so like job skills, things that like taking a cart down to the cafeteria and wiping down chairs. And then I have another co-teacher who teaches the life skills part, which is all about doing our laundry, and they use our kitchen and our laundry machines, things like that. So they really work on kind of some hands-on stuff that they can take home. So here's kind of my small group and projector area. You can kind of see how the rest of my classroom looks from here. So all the way across, here's kind of how it looks. Okay, so here's my small group table. And I have my projector right here so I can really easily and quickly teach from up here. We can count items together. I can touch the screen, have the kids come up and touch the screen. So that's really helpful. And then here is where I do my morning routine. I have the letter of the day, number of the day, friend's name, word of the week, what today is, yesterday was, and tomorrow. We have a skip counting chart that we do every morning too. We have our today's weather. We have the temperature of the day, and I have my nice Harry Potter style calendar with some buckets right there with the other months and some of my markers that I need to use. We have our temperature. And then here is one of my sensory bins. This is going to have all my squishy balls. I have some little things that have water and sand and mirror in it. I have my tangles. I also have this fun little thing. So just things that the kids could really enjoy playing with. These are all things I got through Donors Choose and grants. So things that I could really use in the classroom. I have my fun Harry Potter themed cupboards. And they basically just house some of my materials. This I'll kind of talk about in another video at some point, but this is my system of kind of keeping things organized. I have a happy birthday wall, and all I did was use paper plates, and this is where I have all my birthdays. Of course, at the top I have all my Harry Potter related things, like my banners and my suitcases and things, my Hedwig, my bottles of poisons and things like that. I have an HP sign, 9 3/4. Here's where I house a lot of my materials. And then back here I have a fun little library for my kids. And then I have an area where this is just extra stuff that is going to be for my sensory items. So something I found just at a teacher store that I could use to kind of organize things. So lastly, over here on this wall, I want to show you, this is what my computer station looks like right now. So when I have had kids in the past that are here, when it's not COVID, I have a lot more students. So my plan was for this year to have this sign. It says, when you're done using the computer, I'll show it to you better. Number 1, wipe down the keyboard. Number 2, wipe down the mouse. Number 3, wipe down the actual computer screen. Number 4, put your headphones back on your particular hook, and then also get sanitizer. So my plan was that if I had all my students back, they would all have their own specific headphones, specific space for all their things, and then have some sanitizer and wipes there. I haven't had as many students this year, so we've been using mostly iPads right now, but when we come back next year, if all the COVID restrictions are still here, I will be working on using this kind of an organizational system. So you can see I have my little Quidditch and Hogsmeade little posters just to make it fun. I have students' names right here where they can see this is where their station is. I do use this for some of my extra materials. Students, for the most part, know not to touch things, but sometimes they'll come in here and kind of get things on their own. I also want to show that I have different types of seating. So if you can see, I have my yoga ball chair. I also have some extra yoga balls, and I have a cushion from Lakeshore Learning that is helpful for different types of kids that need to sit in different areas. Lastly, I'm going to show you right here. So you can see my desk area back there and my TA's desk, but right here I have cubby holes. And this has students' different IEP bins, and inside we're going to see things like this that are like reading digital times. For this student in particular, I have recipe cards for them to read with comprehension questions. For other students, I have things like months of the year in order, so they're going to stick on or match like January to month 1, December to month 12, etc. So they know that their items for their IEP, for their goals, are in those bins. So when I say go get your IEP bin, they should go to their spot, pick out their bin, and go take it to their seat to go work on stuff. I also have a bin right here for kids to turn things in. And these are all my things for this next week. So I'm going to be working on coupons. So here's my activities ready, set to go that my TA had put together this week, where we're going to practice matching coupons with a list. So just so you know, I got a lot of my things like decorations at United Art and Education. I had to print a lot of things offline for my Harry Potter theme, things that people have posted as, free items on Teachers Pay Teachers, some things I got just on image searches. I had gotten my class schedule and my calendar items from a Teachers Pay Teachers. These kind of things, like the little plants and these really cheap little $3 lamps that are great for mood setting, I got at IKEA. And then a lot of things I also get at a teacher store that I like to use, that our school is a part of, and it's called Teacher's Treasures. Last things I want to show you here. I have a little cubby hole right here. Now my grandfather made this for me for teaching, but this has all my students' art boxes. I made sure that I have all their names in the cubby hole so that we can keep track of their data. And then I also have my little work chart of class jobs. So I have Dobby, of course. House elves don't work here. Dobby's a free elf. So because of that, we have class jobs. So I kept in mind my continuation of Harry Potter theme. Other than that, this is kind of a cubby hole for my laminator and things like that I can use when I need to. So anyway, here is my total classroom view one more time. You can kind of see all the things that I have around the entire room, my workstation, and kind of the things that I have for myself and for all my students. And I do have mood lighting just to make sure that if I need to do something like, if you've noticed, I don't have any windows. So if I need to do something on my screen, it's really nice to have all my little lamps and things working, just because it's going to be really helpful for my students to be able to see me. So here in a second, I'm going to also give you a tour of my sensory room. And it's just kind of something I put together myself. Nothing super fancy, nothing that is created by Bright House or anything like that. And I'm going to tell you how much kind of everything costs and where I wanted to show you guys my sensory room. I thought it was a pretty cool thing that we ended up making for fairly cheap when you look at the large scheme of things. If you go to a specific sensory room making company, it's going to be upwards of $15,000 to get a sensory room made. I did mine in, I think, a little under $2,000, and I had used a grant for a lot of this stuff. So I just want to show you, it's not super clean right now, kids use it all the time, but I did want to show you some of the main features that I have in this sensory room. First off, I have the walls lined up with different types of textured fabrics. So if you look here, like this one has a little bit of those sequins on it. I have things that are kind of more velvety, things that have a little bit more of a puffy or rigid, different textures. I thought that was kind of neat for our kids. We have a classroom who makes items for us, and so they actually put up all these things on the walls. So it was done by students, which is why it's kind of a little funky here and there, but that's cool because it means that we're employing our students in our own school. They also created this light fixture for me up here, and what it is a Hughes light inside, and that Hughes light can change colors with my phone, depending on the mood that we want to set for the kids. And then there was a little box created for it, so it'll kind of shine up like a sconce. Also, the cool thing that I really love is this awesome $99 Sensory Moon bubble lamp. So I had two. One of them got torn up, which happens a lot in special education. But what's really cool is that it was only $100, and it changes colors, and it comes with these little fish inside, and you just put distilled water in it and plug it in, and it looks amazing. The kids really love it, and it has like a really cool effect in here. And again, $100, like not even that much for a sensory room. Anyway, here's my other item. So what happened with this is that it was supposed to be a fiber optic waterfall. We ended up struggling with it a lot to get the waterfall effect. So what we ended up doing was kind of putting it up into kind of like a light fixture. And so it still has this really cool effect in here where it changes colors, and it has a really neat like look. But the kids in the school also put that together for us. So that little thing that it's hanging from is a totally cool thing that kids put together. It's got all kinds of little holes in it where the fiber optics were supposed to go through in order to hang, because all the pieces for the actual like device are up inside of that. But I really wanted it away from my students so they didn't destroy it. It's been up for almost 2 years, so it's actually doing really well. So we just have it kind of hung up in there. The other cool things that I have in here are a trampoline that somebody donated, some balls. We do have a punching bag right there for kids that need that. Again, my other bubble tube is broken. We have some scooters and blocks and things in here for kids to use. Bean bags and just fun little things that are homemade. These I got for $1 at a yard sale. And then this is just something where I took a sock, filled it with rice or beans, and then you just sew it up, and it makes like a nice little weighted item for somebody's lap. So what's kind of neat is that a lot of our stuff that we have in here is homemade. A lot of the things that you can do to make a sensory room are really easy. We even took a bath mat and put it up against the wall so that kids can touch it and feel it from here. I took a book that's all about colors and hung it here so kids can play with it. And then I have some of these little stars with different textures up on the wall too, and a carpet square. The last thing that I have in here is probably or actually I have two things. First one is a crash pad. And this item was actually fairly expensive, unfortunately. I think it was $200. And then this item, it's been at our school for a really long time, so I didn't actually have to purchase it. But it is a $900 item if you want to get it online. They're great. Kids love them. They're so safe, way better than a rocking chair sometimes. The only thing is that it does wear down over time. We have had to fix it when kids have kind of torn into it. There's foam inside that can become dislodged and misplaced, but all in all, it's a really nice item and feature for a sensory room if you have $1,000 to spend on it. Or if you have somebody who can donate it. There are little things in here like yoga balls. These are items you can get from either Walmart or school specialty. You can also go to Donors Choose and they have items like that. So those are really cool things that you can get. I think that might be it for the sensory room. Just keep in mind if you have a small little closet space or if you have a little like random room office space somewhere in your building that you feel like you could turn into something like a sensory room, don't spend $15,000 on it. You can do it in less than $2,000. I know the fabric itself costs like $300. This light fixture, the fiber optics, costs like $100 or $150. Yoga balls are like $10 or $20. The spiky ones are usually more like $40. Like I said, bubble lamp was like $100. The crash pad $200. We've had a ton of things donated, and the light over there was probably like $50. So you can make a sensory room on a budget and really have a cool effect, and kids will love it. I think that a sensory room can be cool just in doing something yourself. I hope you enjoyed my classroom tour. I'm really excited to get my channel going. So have a great day. Bye.